Okay, so in this video, let's check out 5/4. So over here, I've got a piece that I've worked on. I'm going to play it back and I'm going to talk through how I came up with the timing with it and then see how we can dive deeper into 5/4 and use it in our productions. So let's take a listen first. So as you can hear, a very chilled ambient piece. You've got some drums there, some piano, some bass, and then some slide guitars. So going in over here, if we just take a look at the drums, I'm just going to focus in over here and just open up this editor so we can see the drums. As you can see here, here are our beats, and on each beat, I've added a kick. On the third beat, I've added a snare, and the rest are kicks. So if we just play it back, let's say with just the kicks. So I'm just going to go to my mixer, solo the kick, and maybe the snares as well. We've got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how I created the 5/4 and built it up from a very simple drum pattern. I used a kick and snare in a 5/4. So as you can see, I set my time signature up in 5/4 over here with the tempo at 90 BPM. And then from there, I added some hats. I've got these hats over here. If I just add them in, and the hats have a little bit of swing to them. So as you can see, here is my grid, but if I change the quantize value to 16th notes with 40% swing, you can see that it's sitting on the grid there. So I've just added that just to add a bit more feel to the rhythm. Then after that, I've got this piano part over here. I'm just going to select this whole area so we see the chord progression. What we got is a G minor, going to an F major, then to a D minor, and then to an E flat. So that is the chord progression. And on each 5 beats, it's playing that chord. Playing it again here. Plus we've got this melody that's playing over it. Got some inversions over here. And then with that, I've added a bass guitar. Let's just play that without the piano. And I do have some effects on here, so I'm just going to turn them off and play it back. As you can hear, it's playing on some of the downbeats and some of the upbeats. So if I go into this bass over here, as you can see, we've got on the downbeat here, then on the upbeat, on the downbeat, and on the upbeat. So what we're actually using here is a combination of long and short notes. Now in the next video, I'm going to go into more detail on how you can create 5/4s using shorter and longer notes. But for now, just bear in mind that this bass part is using some up notes and down notes to get that sort of rhythm for this part. And then what I've added to that bass is I've added some reverb and then some delay with a triplet 8-note delay. So you're getting that effect there. Add in the piano. And then I've added in some guitars to complement the chords. So now let's just take it back a step. I want to show you what this piece would sound like if it was actually in a 4/4 instead of a 5/4. So if we just zoom out over here and go to this next section, I'm just going to unsolo all those tracks. So we're playing everything. Over here, we've got our 4 different bars, each with 5/4 in it. Now, if I wanted to make this 4/4, I can just select these all and just move them back slightly. So we've got 4 beats there, and then just quickly move everything into each other here. So we've actually got 4 beats per each bar. Now, don't worry too much that this isn't lining up with our 5/4 bar we've got set up here. It's still going to sound like a 4/4. So what I want to do is play that 5/4 and then play the 4/4 so you hear the difference between the feel of a 5/4 and a 4/4. So let's play this back again. Okay, so that's the 5/4. Now listen with the 4/4. as you can hear, that is way more predictable. You can hear those chord changes after 4 beats, but when you go to the 5/4, you get a bit more of a laid back feel because you've got that extra beat that's being added on. So the easiest way to think of a 5/4 is taking your 4/4 and adding an extra quarter note beat onto it, and that gives you your 5/4. And then what I've done, as you can see from the chords here, I just went into the chord and added an extra extended part of that chord for that 5/4. So if you go here, I'll just go to this piano part here. Let's take a listen to that. But if we go over back to the 5/4 over here, as you can see, I've got those same chords, but I'm just adding an extra beat that's extending that chord. So for example, over here, so that is one easy way to take your 4/4 chord progression or pattern that you built up and just adding an extra beat after every bar to give you that 5/4 feel. So that's a very simple way of creating a 5/4. You've got your 4 chord progression here with 4 beats per bar, and you just extend each bar by a beat to give you that 5/4. Now in the next video, let's look at some other ways that we can create 5/4s.